different time frame. So it's not even like it's back to back. And trust me, I slept and I slept very well. I've never slept like that in that class, but I slept very well. So for you, what is it? One person says cyber security. All right, cyber security. Another person says AI engineering and AI engineering. And then another person says cyber security. Another person says AI and robotics. Another person says data analysis. Okay. And honestly, I feel like these skills are very, very, they're skills you can learn. I honestly think they are skills you can learn, right? They are skills that are quite easy for you to learn. No, not quite easy to learn, because one of the notion about technology or technology, like the way we want to put it, is people always think that it is one size, like it is immediately you start learning that you cash out, right? So, but it's not like that, right? It is quite different from what everybody thinks, right? So I'll just move on. I see a lot of people, data analysis and co. So let's just move on. So, what is our digital reality, right? The world is, so this is, let's just go back. Let us, okay. So we all know that the world is online, everything is going on online. Um, there are opportunities that you can access online. This is the word of AI. Artificial intelligence has come to stay. I tell people a lot that artificial intelligence has come to stay. And because artificial intelligence has come to stay, we need to, because artificial intelligence has come to stay, we need to all, plug in, right? And so you need to always ask yourself, this thing I'm doing right now, how relevant is it now? How relevant will it be in the next 1 year? How relevant will it be in the next 2 years? How relevant will it be in the next 5 years, right? So this helps you to be able to know the frequency of upskilling that needs to happen, right? I tell people that you can liken technology to medicine. Like you can liken technology to medicine and surgery, right? You can be asking, you may wonder why. A medical doctor that graduates from med school and doesn't upskill will become obsolete very fast. The reason is that there are always emerging diseases, right? There are times that probably someone who was sick, went to the hospital and maybe went to a healthcare center or went to a general hospital. Sometimes when the matter that is presented before the doctors in this hospital, when it's beyond what they can handle, they refer those persons to teaching hospitals because they believe that in teaching hospitals, they have more advanced technologies that can, help to at least, verify what's wrong with the person. And that's the same thing with technology. Technology is emerging. There are always new technologies that come up, whether you like it or not, right? The same way with languages, right? In technologies, there are new languages that makes what you've learned yesterday obsolete. So as someone who is looking to play in the technology space, you also have to be able to ask yourself, what exactly will I be bringing on the table that will help me to be able to play very well and keep me as a game changer within technology ecosystem, right? Um, so I turned off my slide, and the reason I turned off my slide is because my understanding of the audience originally, right? I see a lot of people who are more interested in core tech. Again, I want everybody to please use the comment section to identify one core tech skill that's for people who have not typed yet, one core tech skill that you really wish that you had the opportunity to learn, right? And if you're an entrepreneur, what core tech skill do you think you really would like to learn? The reason is my slide kind of speaks more to people who are looking at learning some, maybe not deep cortex skills, right? But speaks to more of persons who are trying to leverage current immediate technologies to upskill themselves, right? And so I had to, that's one reason why I brought down my slide. And I just want to be able to flow with everybody, but I don't want to leave anybody behind. So that's why I'm asking. If one of the things you hope to learn here is using intermediate, is I'm a business owner, right? I'm an entrepreneur. How do I use technology? Just put it here so that I know that we can all flow aligned, right? So yes. Um, um, Also, something I want to also mention, right, when it comes to technology is a lot of time people think technology is coding, or when it comes to tech, learning about tech, a lot of time people think that learning about tech is coding. It is not about coding alone, right? So I've asked a lot of people sometimes, why are you not considering tech, right? So I've asked people sometimes, what are you doing right now? And how does technology support or affect where you are at the moment? And then somebody says, I don't need technology. And I'm like, you don't need technology? You don't think so, right? But the truth is that most of the time, the reason why we shy away from tech or tech skills, as it were, is because we think that all tech skills are technical, but tech skills are not particularly, there are core technical tech skills that requires maybe programming or requires some form of technical knowledge. And then there are some that do not require that. So for example, um, if you were to if you were to choose software development, data science, cyber security, right? Of course, if you love mathematics, right, it would be a go-to for you, right? But if you do not love mathematics, right, not like you cannot decide to chart a career around that field, but it would require your commitment to ensure that you are able to succeed. So this is what I'm going to do. Yes, this is my thoughts, right? I'm going to spend the next few minutes just talk about um, core tech and non-core tech. Then I'm going to go back to my slides so that our entrepreneurs here can then benefit, so that I'm able to cater to all the respective group of people that I have here. We have a deal. So yeah, so I'm just speaking to the core tech and that's the technical bit of things, right? So if you love mathematics, just going with what I've said, if you love mathematics, there are some skills that are great for you to pick up, right? But if you don't love mathematics, there's product design, there's graphic design, there is product management, right? There is I mean, aside from even being doing product management, there is data analysis that you can literally just use formulas to get results out. There's being a virtual assistant. There are a lot of opportunities that are tech related and are required at this 21st century. Very, very important that you particularly don't even need knowledge of like technical knowledge to be able to excel in, right? Um, One of the things I always advise people when it comes to digital skills is that you don't allow peer pressure to push you to where you want to be. Nah, because if you allow peer pressure, you will most likely fall out, right? Because everybody's passion, everybody's um as much as you want to do something, right? Your nature as an individual differs from the other person. So what one person is striving at, the other person is struggling with. I mentioned to you all that at different points in time, tried to, because I really wanted to learn how to code at the beginning, because there was a lot of buzz around coding. It seemed like everybody I knew around me, my entire area, everybody, it seemed like everybody was coding. And I'm like, me too, I must code, I must code. But I went to the class and I slept all through the class. So imagine, and thankfully for me, I was supervising a class and I just felt like, let me sit down and stay in the class. So imagine if I had paid for the class, right? I most likely would have wasted my money. And there are a lot of people who, and I think even beyond technology, right? Even beyond the tech ecosystem, courses as well. There are many people who go to university to um there are a lot of people who graduate from universities in courses that, for lack of better word, do not have a business doing, right? Maybe because of peer pressure or family, whatever reason you choose. For some people, it can be jam. That is your reason why you're like, oh, jam me, jam me, jam me, jam me. I'm not allowing jam to jam me. Let me just go for what they give me, right? So there are a lot of people who make those decisions, right? And when you make such decisions, what happens is that it will affect your participation, it would affect your reason to upskill, it would affect your mindset, it would affect how you see yourself as an individual as well, right? And if you don't, if you already have a resentment for what you studied or for what you're currently doing, then you most likely may not want to take life to the next level, right? So that's one of the things I wanted to mention when it comes to tech. So there are pretty much there's core tech skill and there is other tech skills that are not particularly core, they are not technical as it were, but you still be referred to as the tech bro or you still be referred to as the tech sis, right? So but then if you have to pick some of it, especially if you want to go to the core tech skills, there are some things that will make you to succeed. Your level of analysis, your level of mathematics, knowledge of mathematics will go a very, very, very long way in helping you to succeed, right? So because if you do not have mathematics knowledge, so not like you will fail, like I said, but you most likely will struggle as opposed to other person. Also, if you have a very if you have a very short attention span, then you also may not be able to survive because individuals who are in core tech, for example, for people who code, most of the time you find out that they stay within a confined space for a very long time. Sometimes as long as 5 hours, they are looking for what is not lost. Like because they're trying to find a something that when there's an error, there's a bug somewhere, and they're trying to pick up what it is and trying to resolve it. So right, so yeah, if you do not have the ability to sit down, if you don't like long suffering, I think that's the spot. If you don't like long suffering, don't go to that area. But if you like to do chill work like myself and being pay and some other person that I know here, then there are some skills that are okay for you to take on, like product design. It's okay. Product management, amazing. If you love designs, right? If you love patterns, if you can figure out colors, you see a color, you know that imagine if you met this and this. Oh, this arrangement. If you have good eye for details and arrangements, then product design is a very good place for you to be, or design generally, right? Because you have eye for details, you can see things, right? Arrangements. It's a very good place for you to be, right? If you love to organize, if you love to ensure that things are at the right place, things are done when it's supposed to be done, there are templates that can be used to do the things that needs to be done. If you love that, then product management is a good place for you to be. If you know you are a FICO and you like mathematics, I know there's plenty of FICOs here, but they will not identify themselves. Lovely like that. But if you are plenty of FICO and you love mathematics, you always like to form that. If they say 20 plus 20 times 20 minus 0 plus 0 plus this, you know the response, right? It's good. Software development, cyber security. Those are like data science. Those are like key places. Again, not that people without that skill cannot survive there, but I'm just trying to say that as much as possible, those persons with this good like analytical skill set would survive, like may not particularly struggle as opposed to the other sort of people, right? So generally when it comes to technology, right, there's need for consistency. Whether you're doing product design, whatever skill set you pick, there's need for consistency. It's the same way in the university or in a higher institution in wherever part of the world. The honest truth is that there are no simple courses. Every course has its own technicality. Every course has its own technicality. It may then differ, but there are no simple courses. Because I mean, if there were simple courses, people who study soil science, everybody within that department is supposed to graduate with first class. Or everyone who studied a language, for example, maybe a language course, is supposed to graduate with the first class. But to be very honest, it's almost impossible because there are no easy courses. Every course will require the level of what's the word? Commitment. So if you do not commit to knowledge, if you do not commit to growth, then you won't be able to get the desired results that you need, right? So it's very important that you commit to something. Your growth, you need to be dogged about learning, right? Tech is not magic. Tech is not a money-making scheme. Anybody that you see that's cashing out of tech right now, trust me, those persons are putting the work at a minimum of at least 2 to 3 years. In fact, in some cases, 5 years. There's no I woke up to money because one of the challenges that people dive into technology, and I've seen this a lot of time firsthand. When we put up applications for our programs, I check for them. We see people apply, and we have a question that we usually would ask: how much do you currently earn, maybe by virtue of whatever work that you do? And then I ask you at the end of this program, how much do you hope to earn? And then for somebody who puts, I don't currently earn. Now, after the end of the program of 1 year, how much do you want to earn? You put $2,000. How now? You don't want to cut your clothes according to your fabric. Do you understand? Like sometimes some people put as high as $5,000, and I'm like, you need to think about put yourself in the shoes of an employer and employ yourself. If you're going to employ yourself, how much are you going to pay yourself, right? So tech is not oil money. If you're looking for quick money making scheme, it's not in tech, because tech will require patience. But yes, I should quickly say this, right? There are some opportunities that put you closer than maybe some more, and it's also depending on what you do generally, right? Which is why, so let me just go back right now into my slide, right? Because I believe the next few things I want to say will be beneficiary to other people, even to everybody generally, even though my slide may be speaking to entrepreneurs, but I'll try as much as possible to ensure that my conversation is able to, in my conversation, I'm able to carry everyone along as supposed to, as it is. So please confirm everyone that you can see my screen now and that you can see it very well. I want to be sure. And please, moderator, sir, I want to confirm how many more minutes do I have so that I can wrap up. Okay, so yes, so I've talked about this, but just to put it in clear terms, why do we need digital skills? Very important, because you want people to be able to find you, you want people to be able to value because you are solving a problem, right? And then because we are in a fast-paced world, and if you are not, what's the word? If you are not upskilling yourself, if you are not upskilling, then most likely you shove that side. I talked about medicine and I mentioned that people upskill. There are reasons why people always recommend one consultant, one doctor above the other, because it's from a knowledge standpoint. So if you're not upskilling, then it means that you are not going to play in the competitive space. And I mean, the market right now is very volatile. It's a competitive space, and so you need to be able to, prepare for that, and that's why you need to upskill, right? So this is just a general real life story that I put as an example. First, a case study is there is a fashion designer based in Lagos who, for her to be able to upskill, or for him to be able to upskill, he has to show off his work on his WhatsApp status. I feel like WhatsApp status does a lot of magic. And this is not only to entrepreneurs, this also to every other person. I've seen a lot of developers or people within the core tech skill who post on LinkedIn and then just pick the link of their post on LinkedIn and then say, oh, I did a work, or I shared my thoughts, or I shared my work on this thing on LinkedIn, and then they post the link. Most of the time when I see that link, I end up clicking the link because I want to be able to see that person, right? A lot of times, you leveraging this social media, right? WhatsApp, for example, it goes far, right? Sometimes I may not take action immediately. For example, a fashion designer, I see your work, I may not chat you up. But if I have something I need to do, I just remember, oh, I saw this person's post, and then that quickens me to go and look for you. So the real question is, are we putting ourselves out there? And the first example we gave ourselves, remember when I asked you to put yourself in the search engine, I told you to put your name on Google and search yourself, right? As much as I asked you to do that in Google, if you were to open the minds of people and imagine that you are putting your names in the mind of people who are trying to look for a fashion designer, people are trying to look for a product designer, people are trying to look for a virtual assistant, and in their mind, does your name ring a bell on their minds? If it doesn't, that means there's a lot of work that needs to be done, right? The second case study is around a cooking just who uses TikTok to share about what she's doing. And then the third case study is about a student who is earning on the side by managing Instagram pages for businesses. And then how do you do this? You can also put a post, and you just need to sell yourself. You just need to talk about what you are doing. In the mind of everybody, people's mind has to be like the Google search, such that when I am looking for somebody, in my mind, I should be able to search, and your name should be able to come on the top. Not that I have filtered and filtered and filtered and filtered, like I've gone to page 1, page 2, page 3 before your name pops up. If your name is popping up on page 3 or page 4, most likely businesses will not be brought to the person's way. I don't know if you all get what I mean. So I'll move on. And then these particular digital skills are more for these are not like core tech skills, but these are relevant skills that you still require even though you want to go into core tech skills, right? And I put number one, social media marketing, whether you like it or not. See that social media, it has come and stay, right? And so what are tech skills that you need? Like some skills that you require, social media marketing. It may not even be for a business standpoint. Like you may not be, you probably may not be learning this social media marketing skills for maybe getting a job as a social media manager, but even for yourself, because you need to be able to manage yourself. You need to be able to promote who you are and promote the work that you do, right? And these skills will be able to help you know, I like, what time should I post? I believe we all know that, okay, social media managers know that there are peak times, right? Peak times to post on WhatsApp, there are peak times to post on Facebook, there are peak times to post on LinkedIn, there are peak times to post on TikTok. So if you are not posting within the peak time, right? All of these skills are not skills that you just feel like you want to post. But then there are peak times, right? So this is social media marketing skills will help you to be able to position yourself. The opportunities. Oh, you've gone for a program. You posted about it. Oh, when do you post about it? And okay, let's say you did not post about it. When we eventually want to post about it, maybe a few months down the line, how do you position yourself in such a way that whatever you posted will still make sense, right? Let me share a personal example. I think sometime last month, I made a post about, yes, sometime last month around June 25 or sometimes, yes, June 25th or June 22nd. I can't remember the span, but I know it's in June, meaning that between 22nd and 25th. I was scrolling through my gallery and then I stumbled on my picture of when I traveled out to the US, right? And I was grateful to God. I was very excited because that particular picture I saw, I think it was when I was in Atlanta. I took a picture of me on the backdrop of Welcome to Atlanta. And that was my first time out of Nigeria. That was not my first time out of like traveling to the US was my first experience out of Nigeria. In fact, let me tell you people what I've not told anybody before. Please don't judge me. We listen and we don't. Cannot hear you people. We listen and we don't.
You
Can
don't
you hear you
judge.
people? We don't judge. That was my first, like, did my as much as that was my first time traveling out of Nigeria, that was the first time I went to Nigerian International Airport 2 years ago. And prior to then, I mean, oh, I've traveled to almost all parts of Nigeria. I mean, I pride myself to say that at least I've been to 30 states, maybe 31 states in Nigeria. I've been to 31 states in Nigeria. But then that was traveling to the US 2 years ago was my first time going to international airports. And I was filled with joy, grateful to God for the opportunity. And then I posted it on LinkedIn just to say 2 years ago, this was my first time traveling. And then I posted to encourage people. To be very honest, I didn't expect that the kind of engagement that post had. I don't think I've had that kind of engagement in a very long time. So I just wanted to mention to say, oh, there are times that you want to share experience. Just put yourself out there. It keeps you in the mind of people. So it keeps you as a thought leader as well in the minds of people. So when people are looking out for people to take opportunities, your mind comes first, right? What are other tools that digital skills that make you stand out? You can also learn about how the digital payments platform works. This particular one will speak for the entrepreneurs among us here. There are a lot of tools, there are a lot of online banking system that you can learn about. Money Point, OPay, AMPay helps you to be able to save your money, helps you to be able to manage your funds and a lot of other things, right? Because I mean, as an entrepreneur, you need to be able to keep accounts. You need to be able to keep your money properly, keep your books properly, right? And these are very important skills. Also, basic graphic design skills, very basic, but very important. So that you are not looking out, you're not looking like people are wondering what now, Lord. Do you understand? And also, this is not to spite the graphic designer here, because I saw somebody post that is a graphic designer. This is not to spite you, right? But I mean, they are just basic things. You want to put up a post, you want to say happy birthday to somebody. And there are tools that help you to do that. Canva, right? You can use Canva. I don't know how many people still use CorelDRAW, but I know that most of these graphic people, some of them may use CorelDRAW. But for you, simple tools that you can use. Canva is there. Just hold on to Canva. Just use it. Other things that you can learn, content creation. Content creation and social media marketing go hand in hand. Because if you have not particularly created your content, whether you want to create a written content or a video content, then you may not be able to post, right? And it works for everybody as well. Content creation is not just for people who are going into the other tech, right? Because at the end of the day, when you write your content, how do you post it? Let me share an example. In one of our programs at Tech for Dev, I think in 2023, we had a particular girl, a lady who was a fellow of the Women Textiles Fellowship. She was in product design learning track. I remember her very well, right? So one of the things she committed as to herself, right? Because the commitment is not even to me, it's to her, was that she was going to be posting about her progress, right? She was going to be posting about her progress as she was learning on the journey, right? And then one of these days, they gave her a design assignment. She did the assignment and then she posted it on Instagram. And when she posted it on Instagram, I think we reposted. And then when we shared, one of our somebody, random person saw it and then mentioned and then commented to say, I really do like this design. Please, can you link me up with this lady? I would like to discuss a recruitment procedure with her. That's it. Oh. Somebody that learned how many months? She was still even in the training when she got the job offer. So the honest truth is that you need to be able to learn this content creation skill. Okay, how do I want to add this together? This is my content that I have. Which one should go to slide one? Oh, this might, even in pictures. It's not some pictures that should start as the first. Which of this picture will draw the emotion of people? Which of this picture will attract people to my content that will now make them to read through, or that will make them to see my slide, that will make them to see my design, that will make them, and maybe you are here already learning a tech skill, right? Which of this content will I put out there that will make people, that will attract people to my GitHub? Like a lot of things. And then finally, you can also learn online customer service, how to reply professionally. See, this one too is for everybody. I tell people, freedom of speech online is allowed. Please, I'll say it again. Freedom of speech online is allowed. Freedom after speech is not guaranteed. Should I say it again? Should I say it again? Sure. Freedom of speech online is allowed. Freedom after speech online or wherever, it is not guaranteed. And you know why it's not guaranteed? Because digital, you are living, every time you make a comment, you are leaving a digital footprint, right? You may not particularly be affected by whatever decision or by whatever comment you made yesterday, but you don't know the day that you'll be looking for a particular opportunity, and what you have posted yesterday will now be the reason why you won't get the opportunity today. So no matter how resentful you feel about a particular person or a particular matter or a particular organization, please do not comment in a condescending manner. Do not comment in a way that would, what's the word? Do not comment in a way that would hurt you. For example, maybe one of these bank, they deducted your money. You now go on Twitter. You want to go and be dragging them. And later now you want to go and apply for a job in that same bank. Because they check all of these things, right? So it's very important that these are skill sets that everybody should learn generally, right? How do you reply to people? No matter how hurtful you are, rather it may be best for you not to reply, because if you reply, somebody has a digital footprint somewhere and it can be tracked. All right. So I talked about the age of AI, right? And I talked about how AI has come to stay. Somebody's probably wondering, what is AI? Artificial intelligence. Pretty much, it's simple to say that it's just a machine that is helping you to work smarter. In this 21st century, I'll be very honest with you, AI will not take your job. But no, AI will not take some jobs. And that's the honest truth. In fact, the number of jobs AI will take may not particularly be a lot, especially in this our context of Nigeria, where a lot of employers are still open to some traditional system. Not a lot of employers. I know of a lot of employers who will say, no matter come rain, come shine, I will not do a hybrid. You come to the office physically, even if working hybrid is possible. So it's fine. So in this context of Africa, or in this context of Nigeria where we are, I believe that's if you're joining from Nigeria, right? AI may not necessarily take your job in some case, but trust me, the person that is using AI will take your job. And the reason why the person that is using AI will take your job is because the person using AI is not only working fast, but the person using AI, thank you so much, I'll wrap up. The person using AI, right, would work smarter, right? And so it's very important for you to ask yourself, how can I use AI to make my job faster? Let me give you an example. You are going to Ikorodu, you don't know where you are going to in Ikorodu, but you told yourself that you will not use Google Map, that because you don't like the voice of the person that is responding. Don't worry. By the time you lost, by the time you lost, you use Google Map. Do you get what I mean? So there are a lot of opportunities with leveraging AI. So I know that I have very limited time, right? And I just want to, as I wrap up, right, the a few AI tools that I just want to highlight that you can use. There's ChatGPT. Remember that I said AI will not may not take your job, but whoever is using AI will take your job, because whoever is using AI most likely may be using ChatGPT to create email responses, to create content, to do whatever, to edit, right, to create business plan, and the person is churning out whatever information that the person is being asked within a short period of time. That is already a challenge that you need to fix. I also talked about there's another one, Grammarly, right, that helps you to be able to fix your languages before you post. There's Canva. I talked about Canva, using it to design. And right now, using Canva to even design makes you look like you're a pro, right? So these are things that you can use for picture edit. You can use CapCut, just so that you can turn out the best, right, as you put out yourself, to general public. And then for people who are looking, oh, I want to learn. How do I learn? There are a couple of places you can learn, right? You can use YouTube to learn, right? You can use Coursera or Udemy, opportunities to learn there. You can learn on Google Digital Skills for Africa as well, opportunities to learn. You can go on LinkedIn Learning too. Although there are sometimes that you have to pay. I think LinkedIn Learning works best if you already you already have like a badge, right? It helps you to be able to learn. But if not, if you're using the regular LinkedIn, there are free trials that you can use, right? And then if you're, for example, for people who want to go into core tech skills, right? There's a Tech for Dev there that you can use to take your course, right? Tech for Dev offer a wide range of courses from basic to intermediate to advanced programs, right? And for Tech for Dev, all of our programs are free, right? There's a Women Tech Stars that supports women who are looking at transitioning or even starting a completely new career in tech, right? So there's Women Tech Stars. We just wrapped up or concluded Digital for All Challenge, where people learned digital skill and also stood a chance to win up to 150 million, right? Split across different categories and learning tracks. So there are a lot of opportunities for you to learn and upskill yourself. It is just a matter of you making a decision, to be able to learn. I'll wrap up. I'll just stay on this to wrap up. I think I've talked about it previously. I'll just stay on this. When you finally decide on whatever you want to do, whether you want to go into core tech or you want to go into the other type of tech, or you want to use technology to make your business grow, right? You need to be able to stay visible. And how do you stay visible? First, comes with consistency. Are you consistent with doing? Are you even consistent with posting? Because if you're not consistent with doing, then you will not have anything to post. So you need to be consistent. Show up every time. Show up and show up well. Because always remember that your name will be left on digital footprints. And so whatever your name has to be left on digital footprints, it has to be left very well. So show up and show up well. Then another thing that is very important is that even for you that choose to learn maybe deep core tech skills, right? You need to be able to show your before and after progress, right? It makes people track your progress. It makes people really see that you have improved, and it makes people to be able to trust you. Show your mistakes 2 years ago and show what you are up to right now, right? That's why you need to be able to keep memories of yourself, take pictures, do videos, even when you are not happy about it sometimes, just take pictures, keep the memories alive. Ask for feedback, very important. You are learning a core tech skill or whatever skill set you are learning. Ask for feedback. Ask for feedback from your trainers. Ask for feedback from your colleagues, right? Build interpersonal skills, build emotional intelligence skills, right? Very important, because it helps you to be able to build soft skills, right? It helps you to be able to know how do you relate. You don't want to become someone who has the right technical skills but has poor soft skills, because a person who has a poor soft skill most likely not be hired, right? The people don't mind training people to have the right technical skill, but they cannot deal with somebody who has a terrible soft skill, like communication skill. You can't communicate properly, you can't negotiate properly, somebody who is manipulative, somebody who is abusive. Nobody will want that kind of person on their team. So always ask for feedback. And most important, if you are in whatever location, always tag your location. Very important, especially when it comes to your business, right? I'm looking for, maybe you are looking to get a role. Always ask, I'm looking for a role, maybe across the globe. or I'm looking for a role specifically in Benin, whatever, just be specific. Again, personal business. From a security standpoint, you may not want to tag your location, but for a business, you can choose to do that. Then finally, join communities that help you to make yourself visible, that will also share more opportunities that will help you to grow, right? These communities always matter. So you can also post, you can always see opportunities when they pop up. I'll stop here and then I'll take questions if you have any questions. I hope you got value for your time.
All right. Thank you so much, Blessing. This is one of the most interesting section I've had in a while. I mean, I stayed glued all through. In fact, there are lots of people affirming this also. I'm enjoying this session from Opeyemi, and people had to affirm that it was quite an interesting session. So thank you once again for the amazing time and how you've taken this session, because I mean, really, I really loved it. I really loved it. Zainat here is also saying thank you. Opeyemi again is saying thank you. So we will just take question and answers for 15 minutes, and then we can wrap up the session. I mean, for me, I would start with my question, and then that would open the floor for everyone to also ask questions. So my question would be something that I've noticed around young people, and that is the fact that, okay, Akpeyemi, I see your hands. I'll take you next. Just confirming that I saw your hand. Is how do you transition from a career to a tech career? Like that's been a question I know it's a question in everybody's mind, and people are saying, oh, I'm working. But yes, I would like to go into tech, regardless of the different. And thank you so much for, breaking down the tech career to ensure that it's not just coding. You can do, you talked about graphics, you talked about social media, you talked about product design, you talked about a whole lot of things, and the core skills and the ability and traits you have for you to be able to excel in these different things. So the question now in lots of people's mind, I think is, what do you think is the best way to transit? Knowing fully well that most people probably have a 9 to 5, and then they still also want to learn tech. So what would you advise? What would you suggest for people like that uh, to be able to make that career change?
Right, thank you. Very important question you asked. I would say very, very important question that you asked. So the first thing I would like to say is when you want to transition from something completely different into technology, right? Two things. You need to make up your mind that if you need to start from the barest minimum, that you give it what it takes, right? I think I started by saying that, first of all, you need to understand that tech is not money-making machine like the MMM, like immediate. You would make the money if you want to at the end of the day, but you need to give what it takes. And what it takes sometimes may mean that, so if you want to, for example, if you choose to take a course somewhere, it may require you spending if you are not able to find a free course, right? It may require you spending your money to be able to learn that course. And trust me, if you're not able to get a free course, learning tech is quite expensive, very, very expensive, depending on how you want to do it. For example, at Tech for Dev, our programs are instructor-led. So it means that there's an instructor in class. And trust me, they don't live on, God bless you, sir, in Jesus' name. They don't live on that. They live on money. I mean, it's not like entering transport and telling the conductor, thank you, sir. God bless you. God bless you. It will beat you up before you even get to your destination. So money is involved. So you need to ask yourself, how do I want to learn this skill? Am I going to search for opportunities that will allow me to learn this for free, or I want to pay for it myself, right? So when you've made that decision, you then go ahead to ask yourself, what exactly do I want to learn? Maybe you've made a decision on what you want to learn. What organization or what institution will help me to be able to learn this skill? What timeline do I require to learn it? Very important. Then you now ask yourself, the current job I'm doing right now, will it give me the permission, or will it allow me, will it give me the flexibility to learn what I want to learn, right? If the answer is no, that means you have two options. You either resign to focus on what you want to learn, or you find another job that will give you the opportunity to also be able to learn what you want to learn, right? In some cases, the other job you may want to pick may pay you lesser, because I need to be very real with everybody. It may pay you lesser, but it will give you the flexibility for you to be able to earn in the future very well. You have to be the one to make the decision by yourself, right? In some cases, I've seen some persons who join our program, for example, especially for the women who join our program. Many of them drop their jobs, not because they don't know. No, many of them drop their job because they've had a conversation with their family members. They've told their family members that I'm starting a new career in tech, a different terrain, and I need your support. So some of them, their family members are the one providing them support on data. The day you want to give up, somebody will call you and say, don't give up. Oh, the journey is far. Oh, because you still need moral support. Technology is not easy. So for example, if you were in, let me give a random this thing, you studied nursing and you want to do software development, trust me, it will shake you, which is why you also need an accountability system. Accountability system such that the day you are giving up, you will call, for example, on our programs, you have, depending on the program, you have to sign an MOU and there's commitment if you drop off. So, and people know. So the day you want to, if you remember the commitment, you go and call your next of kin that signed for you and say, Egbon, help me, oh. Be like, wait, they will collect the land when you sign, or something like that, right? And so it helps you to stay on guard, right? So quick thing, just to wrap up, like based off the question you've asked me. First of all, ask yourself, what career do I want to move in? Also, if you are currently working, you have a job, you need to ask yourself, will my job give me the time? If my job will not give me the time, what next? Should I go and look for another job? If I look for another job, who will pay the bills? If I am not looking for another job, right, am I willing to give the time, right? Is it flexible enough, right? It's okay to move on. And then you also need to look out for resources. What resources do I need that will help me, right? Even as I journey, like even as I take the course, right? But first, you need to ask yourself, am I going to leave my other job? Can I leave? Am I willing to leave my job if it requires me, right? There are some organizations that offer internship, right? More like they call it internship. You are learning the course. They are paying you transport system and transport stipend. Some, not everybody. But again, you need to do your research, a wide range of research, and that helps you be able to know what decision you want to make at the end of it. Because it's very possible to transition from one career to another. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Blessing. And that was a very profound, and I learned a lot from that. Thank you so much. Oteyemi, you can go ahead with your question. Come off mute. You can go ahead.
All right. Thank you very much, Ma. I really appreciate your time and your dedication. Thank you so much. So my question is this, Ma. I am actually an undergraduate under the discipline of computing. So I just want to ask a question based on this impact of AI. I don't know. The trend of AI, ma, my lecturer was actually working because we're actually working on a programming language, and he taught us this programming language for 2 or 3 hours. And what he taught us, ma, by the ending of the class, he just asked us that, do you know that what he taught us now, AI can give us the answer in less than 2 seconds? I was not, at first, I was like, how come? And AI gave us even more than what he taught us. Like, I was not like, so why are we now, learning what AI can generate for us? So I really want to ask this question, man. This trend of this AI, where is AI actually leading us to? Because as a like as a coder, what you sit down in coding for 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, AI can help you generate it in less than 2 minutes. Therefore, if people, they really want, they want you to develop a website for them, it's very easy for them to go to an AI, and AI is going to bring the list of all the codes. So my question is, where is this AI actually going to, ma? That is my question.
Okay, thank you. You've asked a very good question that even me like this, I cannot tell you where it's going to, but I'll tell you that it's going very far. It's going very, very far. And about what, so there's a lot of things I may not be able to say, especially because if you're going to compare our educational system here in Africa or in Nigeria to others, there could be a lot of gap, right? But your lecturer walking you through the theoretical aspect of what AI generated is not wrong. It's the same way it is you that will decide how you want to the practical side, right, of what your lecturer taught you. It's the same way for people who were in commercial class in secondary school for bookkeeping, maybe when you were doing subject on bookkeeping and co. I hope you knew that everything they taught you about accounting, minus this one, plus this one, if you put it on Excel, Excel will give you the response that you need, right? But the honest truth is that imagine you are in a place where you do not have access to this technology for network reasons, right? Internet fluctuations, you just have access to a device and you're able to do it. Would you be able to work regardless? I think that's one of the reasons why they probably will continue to still do theoretical. I remember when I was talking, I said, oh, for example, in our context of Nigeria, Africa, a lot of things are still manually done. Of course, the word of AI is that we are trying to ensure that, oh, we move many of our engagements, to to be more technical and to be more online, right? So AI has come to stay. To be very honest, AI has come to stay. But I said it that the people who use AI are the ones that will pursue the people that are not using AI to do the job, right? So, for example, you said you can use AI to generate a website. Yes, but do I personally want to use AI to generate my website? No, I will not. It's the same way for social people hire social media managers. Is it that the person hiring social media manager cannot manage the platform? Of course they can. But will they do it? No, they won't, because it has to do with priority. I don't know if you understand what I mean. It's not my priority. If my primary focus is on something else, and I am now trying to add on these other added on activities, right, as on my tasks, it doesn't make me productive, right? So everything at the end of the day boils down to productivity, right? Are there AI that will help me to be able to generate maybe designs? Yes. But if I need certain kind of designs, because the truth is that I hope you know that if you most of the time, even when you use AI, you have to be able to tweak what AI gives you. Because if you are using word for word what AI is giving to you, that means there could be a lot of errors. At the end of the day, artificial intelligence is the data that is given to you, what is the data every other person has put in. And if you use ChatGPT will even tell you that his answers are not 100%, right? So it means that even if you use AI, you still need somebody to review what the AI has created, change formats, what they even when I use ChatGPT sometimes and I ask it a particular question and it responds to me. Sometimes I have to respond to it back and say, but this is not what I asked you. And then you hear it say, sorry, I missed it. Because yes, it is AI. Do you understand what I'm trying to explain to you? So yes, my point here is AI has come to stay. The length where AI will take us to is very, very, very far. The honest truth is that regardless of whether AI has come to stay, there are people that need to learn how to use artificial intelligence so that you can provide solutions to people's businesses. I will not build a website for myself, trust me. I'd rather pay somebody to build the website. And I'm sure being paid Zinat and Co. Some of them too, they would rather give somebody else and use the time to do another thing. But you learn the skill, which is very important. Thank you.
Thank you, Blessing. I think I saw someone else's hand up. Also, just to add a bit to what Blessing has said, I remember 2-3 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, 2 years, I think 2 years to be precise, there was this AI that came out, and the goal of this AI was to create, so it could create a website on its own, right? It could solve bugs on its own and all of these things. I've forgotten the name of the AI. In fact, it got billions of dollars of investors having to put in money for it. And all of a sudden it crashed, right? In fact, people started calling it a scam because it wasn't able to deliver as much as, in fact, the people who were imputing the prompts that was making the AI to work was imputing the wrong, everything was planned well. They really planned it well to be able to do all of that. And then it crashed, right? Because people eventually figured out that it wasn't what we said it was. And I mean, that is where the human touch comes into play. AI can't do it all for you. Humans have to also come in and do their little part, right? Imagine you tell an AI to go and kill. So let me give you an example. You tell a machine to go and kill someone, right? And then you've given it the prompt. The machine is going to kill the person. Along the line, you realize that, oh, this is the wrong person I'm supposed to terminate. This is not the person. You've told the AI to go. It has gone. It has killed the person, right? But if it's a human being that is actually managing it, controlling it, you can tell it, okay, stop. I don't want you to keep going, come back and, do something else. So that's the essence of, so she said something that was in fact, I wrote it down. She said, AI won't take your job, but the people using AI would, right? So, yes, whatever your lecturer taught you, you could see it online and all of those things. But imagine if you could harness that knowledge and that potential to do something even more amazing, right? And that is where the essence of using AI and learning how to use it comes into play. I don't know if that helps also. Thank you very much. I saw someone else's hands. If you have a question, please raise up your hand. And then, any other question? I'll wait for a minute. If there is no other question, we have, okay, Olaiwola, please come off mute and ask your question. Thank you.
All right. Good morning. I don't know if I'm audible enough. Good morning.
Good morning. You are
I'm sorry.
audible.
Am I audible enough?
Yes, you are.
I thank you very much. All right. Good morning. Thank you for the session. I'm really, I'm really grateful because I learned a lot. And I'm grateful for your question. You said, how do one transition from one career to another? Now, my own question is, when, when will you? When is Oh, sorry. Let me put it together. Sorry. When will one know? Jesus. When we won't know when to transition, okay, when to transit into another career from still in the same field, from tech field, still in the same tech field, when will you know it's time for you to transit? I think that's my question here. When will you know
Thank
it's
you.
time for you to transit?
All right, great. Can I ask you a question back?
Yes.
When do you know when you should eat?
Okay. When you're hungry, right?
When you are hungry, right? Either by the
Yeah.
sight of the food or
Mm-hmm.
by the thought of I want to eat, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So I will respond to your question now. So when do you know when you should transition, right? A number of factors will determine when you should transition. But at the end of the day, it is a you decision and not any other person's decision to make, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I will just give some reasons, may not be all the reasons, right? But first reason around when you should when you think you know that you should transition is when when you see a problem and you see that problem consistently and it's seeming like nobody has been able to solve that particular problem, then that could be a pointer for you to take that course or for you to transition. Again, it's a you decision, right? Another time you will know when you should transition, right, is also when the need arises. Sometimes there are different reasons that allows you to transition. It could be need based. It could be that you want more in the sense that you want more knowledge, more money, more opportunities, right? That could also be a leading factor, right? So it could be that you want more. And maybe the more that you need, right, will determine more knowledge from you, and that more knowledge will mean that you should upskill, right? So that's another thing that makes you to be able to transition. That's one of the things that helps you to see that, oh, you want to transition. Again, I've talked about the gap. It could be that there's a gap, right? So, for example, you are in a place, you've been looking for, okay, let me use myself as an example. It's not tech related, but you'll be able to relate, right? There was a point in my life, and even as I speak to you, I have learned I have up to 10 entrepreneurial skills, if I'm not mistaken, or more, actually. Because at one point in my life, I learned fashion designing for like 2 years. At another point in my life, I learned shoemaking for a while. At another point in my life, I learned how to make um what they call it, wash items, that's soap, detergent, the towel, and everything that has to do with wash. At another point in my life, I learned public speaking. At another point in my life, I learned um, um, I think bag production. I have learned skills, right? What made me learn it, right? I have been volunteering with organizations, and there was a particular time I was going to do a project on a with an organization, and I suggested that we did a particular project. I think the time when I learned wash all of the wash products, right? Um, Wanted to do something, and then I was looking for a resource person. And by the time I eventually found the resource person, the amount the person was charging, I was like, nah, I'm not gonna pay this. I'm gonna go to learn it. So I literally learned it because I wanted to give back to my community. I didn't want the case where we're now looking to train community members for free. And somebody's now putting money on it, like, and the price is exorbitant. I don't know if you get what I mean. So that for me was a driving force. And for another person, that could be it. You are probably learning to, you want to do a website for yourself, or you want to have a website because people have personal websites. You want to have a personal website for yourself, and the money that they are giving to you or they are charging you is a lot, and you're like, you know what, I'm going to learn this skill and I'm going to build a website for myself. That could be it, right? So there are different reasons. It is you at the end of the day that will determine your why. And when you eventually find out that it is time, it is important for you to try to take that action, at least put the right steps so that you don't back out. Because one thing about desires, or one thing about some things you want to learn, there will be 1 million other reasons why you should not do that particular thing. So if you feel that it's the right time for you to do it, then start immediately. I hope I provided a response to your question, Olaiwola.
Yes, you did. Thank you very much. I'm grateful.
Thank you. All
Thank
right.
you. Now I'm happy that I'm not the only one in this bucket, because I'm always asking myself, God, Kingsley, you're just learning everything. You're just learning everything. Are you going to use it? Now I know I'm normal.
You're normal,
So
very normal.
any other question? If we do not have any other question, thank you so much, Blessing. We have a way of saying thank you, and I need 3 people to come off mute and tell me what they've learned from this session, right? Come off mute, tell me what you've learned, and then say thank you to Blessing for, giving us this, amazing 1 hour of our time to, impact us, give us this beautiful things that we've just learned. We have 1 person. I need 2 more hands. Thank you, Otayemi. 2 more hands. Okay. Olaiwola, thank you so much. 1 more person, please, so that we could just wrap this up. Hassan, thank you, Hassan. I've not heard your voice today, so it's great to see your hands. Okay, I'll start with Hassan, and then we go to Olaiwola and then Otayemi. Thank you. Hassan, you can take the floor now. Hello, Hassan, are you with us? You can unmute now. And hello, Hassan, are you with us? You're still muted. While we wait for Hassan, I'm guessing maybe it's a network thing. Olaiwola, you can go ahead.
All right. What I learned personally from this session is number one, leave a good footprint, offline, online. Leave a good footprint, and I think another thing I learned is think before you post whatever you want to post, because you don't know what it can cause in future. And then the another thing I learned is learn to be visible. Be visible. Yes, I think I'll stay on that. Thank you.
Thank you, Olaiwola. Hassan, are you with us now?
Yes, sir. Yes,
All
sir.
right, Hassan, go ahead, please.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Miss. Is it Mrs. or Miss? Sorry, Miss Blessing. I really enjoyed the lesson. What I learned is I picked one of that said we should like show our progress in whatever skills we want to learn. At least let people know your progress so they can build that trust in you. Even though they want to like give you the job, okay, let me do this. I've been saying your progress that you want to learn this and this. So that's one keynote that I picked from there. Show the progress of whatever you're learning. And then what's again? And how to stay visible. Yeah. And platform to learn all those skills, like build up yourself. That's sorry, because I'm not interested. That's basically what I learned. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Thank you so much, Hazan. That was beautiful. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you 100%. Opeyemi, you can go ahead.
Like, oh, like, okay. So what I learned from this section, I really learned a lot from this section, but I'm just going to pick few of what I learned. So first of all, what I learned from this section is technology is not actually a get rich scheme. Yeah, I really love that because what most of us that are actually into tech, although or want to come into tech, is because of the money. So when you see people into tech, they're making money. Like you see people, I want to learn this tech, I want to learn this thing. So I actually noted and I really love that. And I also love she said that technology involve consistency, which is one of the very key word I took note, consistency. And also, I also learned about AI because that AI cannot actually take your job, but the people that are involved will take your job. And the last but not the least is that in anything we do, that we should make sure that we have those 5 digital skills, the social media marketing skills, the digital payouts, the basic graphic design, even yet, because I feel like, I am not into it. It is not a must for me to learn how to, design and all those stuff. And I really learned it. And also content creation and also online customer service. So I think this is just one of the few things I actually learned. So I really appreciate everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Opeyemi. Zinat Oladile, can go ahead.
Good morning. So one of the key things I learned today is the consistency part, because I'm a person that I struggle with consistency. Anything I'm doing that I don't get the results fast enough, I just like drop it. But with the way she explained and she was able to like talk about consistency that you have to keep doing it, keep putting yourself out so that people can see you. Because if you don't put yourself out, people will not be able to see you. So that was one of the key things I learned today. And thank you very, very much, Mrs. Blessing, for this wonderful webinar. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Zinat. And I mean, it sums up everything about this webinar. Consistency in everything, in terms of how you position yourself out there, to get yourself better opportunities. If you're a business owner, if you're a student, if you're even learning a skill, right? Consistency plays a very, very important role, because without it, what happens is the energy that you've put in, the resources that you've put in for, like, let's say 3 months, then goes to waste, because now you're not benefiting from what you started, right? One of the ways that I keep myself consistent is that I ask myself, what do I tend to achieve at the end? And what do I tend to achieve if I don't finish? I mean, and that's a very easy way for me to just keep going, because now I'm just looking at the goal, and I'm looking at having to finish this, and then that happiness that comes with that accomplishment, right? Or the benefits that I tend to get when I learn these things. So thank you very much, Blessing, for your time. I cannot say thank you enough. And I'm sure that everyone here cannot say thank you enough for the number of the amount of time that you've spent with us. Please put in more thank yous on the chat box if you have more to say. I think you have your hands, Blessing. So before we wrap up, go ahead.
Thank you. I have a final word, and I just wanted to say, I just remembered So I want to say that whatever you choose to do, right? If it was going to take you 5 years to do it, for example, if you're going to take a course that will require you to do it, and you're supposed to start in 2025, right? Meaning that the course is supposed to end by 2030, right? Whether you put in for that course or not, 2030 would come. And when 2030 comes, it will be either you started the course and you are graduating, or you did not start the course because you made an excuse and you are continuing to you keep making excuses, right? So I just wanted to put it out here. You want to chart a career in tech, please start and start now. Because if the reason why you have not started is because when will I finish? 2030 is far. 2030 will come whether you like it or not. And the resultant effect would be, do I have what I need, or I made excuses and I'm still making excuses for not taking the right step? So please start now and resist the need to shalaye. Let me just leave it like that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Blessing, for that. I like the way you just add humor to, the way you take your lessons. So I think that's all for now. Thank you so much, Blessing. Like we said,